Even though Trails VFX for Unity is a super easy to understand VFX asset pack, let me show you some inconveniences that you might encounter when creating a universal 2D render pipeline instead of a universal 3D render pipeline type of project, right? So let's just create this one so you can better understand how to use the Trails asset pack in a 2D environment. Alright, so now everything should be set up. Let's jump into our assets and search for Trails VFX right here. Import this one into the project, import, alright, and now everything should be imported. Let's jump into the VFX, demo, double click on demo if I can, scenes, open up this scene, and now you'll see that everything is in 2D because you have to disable that if you want to see in 3D, right? So you'll see that if you press play, you won't be able to see anything. Everything will be invisible. You'll see that there's an outline there representing that there should be something, but there's nothing. So this is caused due to the fact that all the shaders are for the 3D render pipeline. Let's jump into Trails VFX URP, VFX, shaders, and now you'll find the VFX Trails VFX URP 2D shaders materials. So if you double click on that, you'll see that you'll be able to re-import all of those assets right here and all of these shaders right there. So import that. Now inside the shaders folder, there's this 2D folder that will be created. And then inside the materials folder, you'll see all of the 2D specific materials that have been created. If you jump into the particles, you'll see that still you can't see anything. That's just due to the fact that you still have to switch the materials. So jump into materials and then switch these ones, the URP Trail Cosmos in this example. Let's search for Cosmos. And since it's the 01 one, let's select the 2D 01, like such. Let's do the same for this one. So Cosmos 02, 2D Trail Cosmos 02, and as for distortion, it's just as easy as searching for distortion, and it's this one. Right, now save this, and you'll see that if I get to the Cosmos one like that and press play, now it will be displayed right there. As you can see, I can disable the selection outline, and it's working as intended. All right, that's awesome. Pretty nice right there. You can still see some gray stuff going on there. That's just due to the fact that, you know, you're creating a 2D type of project and the distortion is kind of trying to read from a screenshot that should be a texture that uses depth. And it's something that has to do with shaders and how cameras work and how depth work and the passes. And since this is using a 2D environment, you won't be getting that as of right now. So you're better off just disabling the distortion and you'll still get the trails, but without distortion, right? Because the 2D render pipeline is specifically meant to create some sort of like mobile games, you know, and the way that stuff is rendered around 2D is kind of different to the approach that was used to create the distortions. So that's why they are giving conflicts and not working that much. But, you know, you can still get the trails completely for free and tweak them and adjust them to your liking. So that's how you can approach using the 2D shaders for the trails in Unity. So you're still seeing this video, which means that you're somehow interested in how real-time VFX work. And so that's why I recommend that you check Clevener, which is our VFX Learning Academy, which you'll be able to check Unity Quick Starter course, which is a 2-hour-long course that will be super easy for you to follow and check if real-time VFX is something for you. And the Master Shuriken course, which is a course that's 15 hours long, a lot of content, and you'll learn plenty about particle systems and how materials interact with those, how to make everything look great, which is really important. And so I highly recommend that you check this out if you're really into VFX, which is my passion, right? So see you around there. Bye.